The next agenda item is major interpellations. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two new instruments this week. Firstly, topical debates, and secondly, the major interpellations. The first topical debate I chaired yesterday, brought in with the new rules of procedure, and it's my pleasure now to chair the first major interpellation debate. And the author of the major interpellation, Mr. Coburn, now has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think this is a good innovation, more like Prime Minister's question times in the House of Commons, the mother of parliaments. So perhaps the centre of the European democracy is following the mother of parliaments. Anyway, cooperation between human traffickers and NGOs engaged in search and rescue in the Mediterranean. On the 15th of December 2016, the Financial Times, who I'm sure you all know, published several excerpts from leaked Frontex reports that suggest a high level of cooperation between smugglers and NGOs. Quote, criminal networks were smuggling migrants directly on an NGO vessel, unquote. Clear indications before departure on the precise direction to be followed in order to reach the NGO boats, unquote. Quote, people rescued by NGO vessels are often not willing to cooperate with debriefing experts at all, with some claiming that they were warned not to cooperate with Italian law enforcement or Frontex, unquote. This period has also witnessed a surge in NGO activity in the region and a sharp drop in rescues in response to distress signals. Frontex suggested the latter is due to NGOs cooperating closer to Libyan territorial waters, or even the lights used by rescue boats, which the agency said acted as a beam for the migrants. Does the Commission believe that such actions constitute cooperation with the smugglers? And if not, could it define what would? Does it believe that such actions constitute collusion? And if not, would it define what would? Does the EU provide any financial assistance to NGOs engaged in search and rescue in the Mediterranean? Is Frontex hiding anything we should all know about since we're paying them? I think this place should know more. Thank you, sir. Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Coburn. And for an answer in the first round, Commissioner King for the Commission.
Thank you, Chair, honourable members, and thank you for the opportunity afforded by those questions to clarify one or two issues. First, as has been reiterated in the EU Action Plan against migrant smuggling, the duty to render assistance to persons or vessels in distress at sea is an obligation under international law. This is a binding obligation on states who are obliged to ask shipmasters of private, commercial or military vessels to render assistance. The shipmasters of vessels of non-governmental organisations are bound by the same duties as shipmasters of state vessels. Second, it does not help to make, if I may say, general assumptions on the role of all civil society organisations. These organisations have mostly acted in support of governments and international organisations. At the same time, rules must be respected, and close coordination between all involved in search and rescue operations in the Mediterranean is obviously key to ensuring the safety of all concerned, migrants and crews alike. Coordination of the rescue efforts is ensured primarily by the state responsible for the region where an incident is taking place. Any assisting vessel, be it private-owned or state-controlled, must therefore follow the instructions of the responsible Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre. So, to take this example, in the case of search and rescue in the central Mediterranean region, coordination must take place with the Italian authorities. Third, when it comes to criminalisation of migrant smuggling, we need to be clear about the existing legal framework. According to existing EU legislation, facilitation of unauthorised entry is the act of intentionally assisting a person who is not a national of a member state to enter or transit across the territory of a member state in breach of that member state's immigration laws. National authorities are the competent body to judge this. They are also competent to assess whether the conduct of any NGO or indeed other legal or natural person rescuing people in a specific case could amount to a form of collusion or cooperation with migrant smuggling networks. So far, the Commission has not received any official information from any member states about investigations or prosecutions of NGOs involved in search and rescue activities in the Mediterranean for having participated in migrant smuggling. Finally, I'd like to emphasise that the Commission does not provide any financial assistance to NGOs engaged in search and rescue activities in the Mediterranean. EU funding through the International Security Fund can support search and rescue operations at sea which arise during maritime border surveillance operations. These are the exclusive responsibility of public authorities. Hence, search and rescue operations carried out by third parties, such as NGOs, are not eligible under the Internal Security Fund for EU funding. Thank you very much.